Hi, this is Mike from Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and on today's video, just something really easy to keep your software up to date on your Windows PCs. If you're anything like me and maybe you've got more than one PC or you've just got a lot of applications and programs installed, it's a real pain in the backside trying to keep all those programs updated, and you always know when you're going to open up that program, there's going to be an update for it. So then it's going through the process, yes, click on OK, download the file, blah, blah, blah. Do you want to close down the file because it can't be updated while it's open? All that kind of palaver. It's a real faff and it annoys the bejesus out of me. So today we're going to be taking a look at a piece of software called Patch My PC, which is completely free to use for home users. And I think it's going to save some of us, myself included, quite a bit of time and quite a lot of hassle. So without further ado, let's head over to the computer and take a closer look. Okay, so here we are on the website for patchmypc.com. Now this video is not in any way sponsored or affiliated, it's just a program which I've seen and numerous people have recommended it, so I figured I would give it a go. I've actually tried it earlier on my video editing PC and I'm pretty impressed, so I figured I would give my streaming PC the same treatment and hopefully save myself some time and effort when I'm getting ready for streams and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I'm digressing. So if you go to Patch My PC, as you can see here, this is the main site. Essentially, it's more aimed towards businesses, I think personally, and there is like a paid for version for businesses so you can automate the process for thousands of PCs at once if you want to. But for most of us, especially if you're watching this, the chances are you're just going to be doing this for your own home computers. So in order to do that, if you go to Solutions and then go to Home Users, you've got the Home Updater. Now, of course, you can check out any of the other ones if you want to. That's entirely up to you, but we're focusing on the Home Updater. So as it says there, easily install and update apps on your home PC. Download for free and start installing and updating apps on your PC. So there's a couple of ways you can do this. So you can download the installer. So that runs as a program and stays on your computer. Or alternatively, you can actually run it as a portable exe. So if you've got a USB flash drive or a USB hard drive with all your favorite tools on, you can download it and use it on there, which is great. And actually for this particular instance, I'm going to do the same. I'm just going to download the portable version and run it as is. So we can go through, check out all the other details, etc., etc. if you want to. That is entirely up to you, but we'll go through most of the process here anyway. Now, I've actually downloaded this already to my Windows desktop, and also for those of you that are a little bit cautious about these types of things, I've actually also run it through VirusTotal, which is an online virus checker, which is absolutely great, and I've uploaded the file, as you can see, a couple of moments ago, and it's got a 0 out of 69 score. So basically, yeah, it's great. There's no viruses or anything detected in this download, so yeah, it's absolutely fine. So for those of you that are wondering about that, there it is, it's covered. So here is the Patch My PC exe. So all we need to do is just double click on it and you'll get the user account control come up. If you've got user account control enabled on your PC, just click on yes. And it says here, you must install .NET Desktop Runtime to run this application. Some of you may have this already, some of you may not, so I figured I would leave this in for the tutorial. So click on download it now and you'll get the pop-up. This is from Microsoft.NET, so yeah, you don't have to worry about that. That's absolutely fine as well. So if you do need to do that, you can go ahead and run it and install. Again, you'll go through the user account control again. And yes, installation was successful. So that's great. We can now go back to Patch My PC. Again, user account control. I do apologize. And there we go. So you've got terms and conditions. If you want to, you're more than welcome to read through it. That is entirely up to you. Otherwise, just click on accept terms and conditions and confirm. And essentially what it's going to do is, first time you use it, it's going to give you some options here. So you can actually set up schedules as well, so that it will try and do automatic updates at a time which potentially suits you. You've got the option for date, time, etc. And also you can try other day, every weekday, whatever. Those choices are up to you. Or if you don't want to be hassled by it on the portable version, you can say do not ask again, and we'll choose no. And now we're into the main bulk of the program. So we'll just maximize the screen to make it a little bit easier for some of you to actually follow along with. So we've got some main control sections here on the left hand side. So you've got your applications, you've got the startup, so you can configure startup programs. You also got an uninstaller, so a little bit more of a powerful uninstaller than the built-in Windows one. You've also got the scheduler, which you can go into, your settings and the about. In the middle section, we've got our main section of applications, which can be updated or that are installed currently. And on the side, we've got our summary. You can rescan it. So it tells you how many apps you have to update. Now, actually, I have updated a lot of my apps quite recently because of some video work I've been doing. But again, depending on your usage, yours may be significantly more or maybe less. You can if you want to. If you just want to go straight ahead, you can click on Start Updater, this section here, and it will update all. Alternatively, if you want to just do an individual application, you can just click on it. It does take out a little bit of the legwork. And if we try this now with a hardware monitor, we'll click on that, it'll basically do it all for you, and there'll be no kind of pop-ups or anything as you would normally get. So if you opened up hardware monitor, it would say there's a new version available, do you want to install it? Then you'd have to go to the download page, download it, click on yes and all that kind of stuff, close the application. There you go, it's all done. Much, much quicker. Going back, so you've got the Windows version, etc. here, the cache location, which you can change if you wish to, and also the portable location, so you can change those settings should you wish to. So the cache currently is in the Patch My PC folder on a local C drive. Again, depending where you're running it from, yours may differ. So that's pretty much it for the general layout of things. So let's go to settings first of all, because I think it's actually probably a good idea to go there first before you start doing too much. So this is where you've got all of your options of how you can actually run this program. So you've got the options here. So when opening Patch My PC, automatically start updating outdated applications. You can choose to do that if you want to, so it's completely automated in that regard. Probably safer to leave it off, but again, that is entirely up to you, and it's just a simple toggle on and off. It's very obvious if it's on, it's green. If it's not, it's kind of grayed out or blacked out depending on your screen setup, whether it's in dark mode, etc. Also, when updating an application, automatically close the application to avoid files being in use. So again, that's quite a handy thing to do. So that is enabled. Silently install and update applications. If disabled, you'll need to navigate through the application installer manually. Again, you want to do the silent install, so that's probably useful. If you don't want to, you can just toggle that on or off to suit your needs. So you can go through these and check out all the ones that you want to. Also things like automatically start the app when Windows starts. Obviously, if that's installed locally on the machine, great. If it's done portably, then yeah, it's going to be less easy to do that. In terms of the appearance, you can go down and choose your different settings here. So you can also minimize it, etc. When clicking the close button, does it close or does it minimize, etc. This is quite a handy one actually. Remove desktop shortcuts for apps after installation. So if you're somebody who likes to keep your desktop relatively clean and don't want to have a new shortcut whenever you install an app, you can turn it off there. So that's great. So remove desktop things, we'll turn that on. So that is now going to remove the shortcuts. So you don't end up having loads and loads of shortcuts on your desktop. I like that setting. That is pretty good. Again, you've got things like your languages, all that kind of stuff, download options, where the downloads are, where the portables are, and also there's a log file which you can examine to see what has been done, etc, etc. Also, do not delete installer files after installation. So if you do want to keep the installation files, you can turn that on. By default, it automatically removes the installation files to save space on your drive, which I think is pretty good. So yeah, also you've got templates. Again, you can set templates, make templates, save settings, etc. Or if you make some changes, you can restore everything back to the defaults. So for me, I think that is pretty good. And also again, for downloaded progress, you can have a percentage or a file size. You can choose which you do for there, so that's pretty good. If you go into the About section, you can also check for updates to the app itself. Also release notes, and there's also the support forums. You can request features, etc, etc. So yeah, you get the general idea there of what this is all about. Again, we've got our scheduler, which you can enable if you wish to. That is entirely up to you. We'll turn that off because it's on a USB, so there's not much point, or at least it will be on a USB when I actually get around to doing it. The uninstaller is pretty cool. So this will go through, look at all of your apps you've got installed, give you a nice list of them as it would do in Windows anyway, just a nice place to do it. And of course you just can click on the uninstall icon there and it will get rid of them. Also, you can export all the information to CSVs if you want to for administration. If you're in a business or something, or you just want to make a list of things which have been removed or installed, you can do that there. You've got the refresh button, all that kind of stuff. So the uninstaller is pretty handy. Again, we've got the startup section. So this is good if you want to tweak your system a little bit. As you can see, I've already done mine a little bit anyway. So Stream Deck, you can choose to disable that if you don't want it to run on startup. So if it's set to enable, you can enable it. Again, it tells you the status, enabled, disabled, etc. So again, if you want to change anything, such as maybe your Thermaltake RGB Plus software, maybe you don't want that to run on startup, you can choose there. And also the TT segment LCD, I'm not using that anymore, so that is currently disabled, but if I wanted to reinstall it, I could just click on enable and it will run on startup. You get the general idea anyway. So let's go back to applications, and again, you can choose how you want to do this. You can actually just click on them individually or click on Start Updater, and you can see I'll just go through, do them all. And again, what some people are probably failing to recognize is the fact that a lot of viruses, malware, etc. can come in through backdoors in outdated software. So yes, you may have your Windows updated and you may well have your antivirus solution updated, but have you updated your applications? Because those are a definite vector of attack these days, so it does pay to keep them updated if you can. And there's some things on here, such as the lab filters. I would have not have known that was out of date for a long time, so that's pretty good. The one thing I have found is with OBS Studio, this for some reason does sometimes have problems updating. Now this is the same in almost every single update software I've ever seen, including things like WinGet, etc. They all seem to have slight issues with OBS Studio at times, but your mileage may differ. Again, with OBS, normally it does warn you that there's an update on startup anyway, but yeah, just see how it goes. I think it is going to actually do it, but we'll give it some time and see if it completes. And there we go. After a short time, it did actually update it. So that's great. And it's currently on version 32.10, which is confirmed as being the latest version. So that is awesome. Again, things like Steam, that generally updates itself anyway. But if you do all this, it will save you a few precious seconds before you get into some sweaty gaming sessions. And also things like the NVIDIA app and also drivers as well, AMD, NVIDIA. That also brings me on to another section of this. So there is actually an application library. So if you want to quickly install applications, you can do from a list of over 500 titles. So maybe you wish to install something like Adobe Acrobat or 7-Zip or whatever it might be. There's an absolute ton of different programs on here. I think I saw Bamboo Labs there as well, Bamboo Studio, etc. So there's a big list of things here, and also like Bandicut, Bandicam if you use those types of things for recording, BleachBit, Bitwarden. There's tons and tons of things here, all in alphabetical order. I think it's pretty good. Or alternatively, you can search as well. So if you want to search for, I don't know, AMD Ryzen Master, that is there. It's installed and it's currently updated as well. So get the general idea with that. What else is there, Luke? We try, I wonder if there is Zone Alarm. No, Zone Alarm's a bit of an old one now. Let's try something like an antivirus solution. So let's try AVG, for example. Yeah, AVG antivirus free. So again, you can search for applications there, which might make your life a little bit easier. I think personally this bit here for updating apps in general is pretty invaluable, but ultimately it's going to come down to you guys at home, what you think about this and whether or not you think it's going to be useful. Let me know in that comment section. So there you go, there is a pretty neat tool, and as you can see it is virus free, which is excellent. It's always worth checking these things if you know of any other software that works in a similar sort of way. Always worth checking it in VirusTotal just to give it a scan, make sure it's absolutely fine. But yeah, I think this is a great piece of software for me personally as well, because my stream PC, I kind of don't leave it on all the time. I only turn it on when I'm actually making content or doing a live stream, which you're more than welcome to join us in. And quite often, the first thing it has to do is I have to go through, I open up an application and it's like, oh, it needs updating, crap. And it's a pain. And also when you've got the stress of starting a live stream, then that's the last thing you want. So hopefully this is going to make my life considerably easier, and hopefully it will do the same for you too. Let me know if you're going to try it in the comments, and if you do try it, give us some feedback, let us know what you think, or if you can recommend any alternatives. Always happy to hear your thoughts in that comments section below. I think that's going to pretty much wrap this one up. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video. If you have, smash the like button. If you want to see more content like this on a daily basis, maybe consider hitting subscribe, and if you do that, click on the chime notification and choose all notifications, in which case hopefully YouTube will actually put the notifications in your inbox. But I think that's going to wrap this one up. I've been Mike, this is Mike's Unboxing Reviews and How To, and hopefully we'll catch you in the very next video. Thanks for watching.